Okay, so I got filled short right before I hit record. In fact, so this box right here. So got the red arrow to short. So we're just a few minutes away from the FOMC statement. I want to make sure I don't get caught in the crossfire. We could see some consolidation here. And so I need to determine where I'm going to place my stops. Okay, so what that was is I just placed 5 of the 10 to exit at this green line. And so I'm going to try to get between the yellow and green line for the remaining 5. And then if the market drops, then I'll secure profits on the way down.
Order pending.
Okay, so 922.8 is where I placed it, right between the green and yellow line. And so I just want to make sure I'm out before any potentially erratic movement that sometimes can happen before the FOMC statement is released. So while we're waiting here, this box did not trade this one. It was trading other markets. Gave a beautiful entry for short. Was worth 4.4 points. This is the TF, the Russell 2000 Mini, which is $440 per contract. We're not going to try to get every single tick out of that, but we do try to maximize the trades. And scaling out with these typically works really well. And so hopefully we'll get some good trades in here. You can see that happen. And this box, this long right here, it gave 2.4 points, which is 24 ticks, $240 per contract. Hit 3 of the price targets. Decent profit there. So had you taken those 2 trades, obviously depending on how you pulled out, you'd be up anywhere in the ballpark of $300 to even $1,000. Well, maybe $700 or $800 per contract.
Order filled.
Okay, so there's the first 5. So hopefully we'll get down to our second set of 5, or our last remaining 5. So I'm probably going to be cutting out quite a bit of this, depending on how long these trades are. So you don't have to sit through it. It gets quite boring. So you'll see, you may see cuts here and there where the market progresses, and I'll come back.
Order filled.
Okay. So the last 5 were filled, and we could continue on down, but like I said before, we're not trying to get every single tick. Broke me by a couple, 2 or 3 ticks or so on those last 5. So at this point, since I'm flat, then what I want to do is just wait for the next opportunity. Okay, so this midpoint, the red line, which is in between, in the middle of every single box, often this can be resistance. Sometimes we'll actually short that, and maybe we'll get one today, but I just want to see if maybe price is going to break above. And if it is, then I'll go long. And so I'm getting ready for that right now.
Order filled.
Okay. So in again with 10, it is Fed day, FOMC day. And so we should have some pretty good movement. So typically what I'll do is I'll expand my profit targets more so than normal on days like today, just because we're gonna pretty much get some guaranteed movement.
Order filled.
Okay, so 5 out at 927, and gonna hold on to the remaining 5. We had a pretty good push up there. This purple line here, if we get there, it can often be a sign of exhaustion, and a lot of times I'll actually short that. In fact, if we get there, I'll short that, and so you can see that. So kind of back down to my entry. It's still got 5 in. So at this point, I typically will move my stop up. Okay, so I'm back. Took quite a while. We had a nice bounce up. So right now I've got 5 at 28. Got to the tick and it didn't fill me, so I'm hoping it can get back. And then, like I said before, if we can get to the purple line, which is about 28.8 or so, I'll short that too.
Order filled.
Okay, so that long position is flat, and so now if we can get up to that purple line, I've had an order in there for quite some time, so I should get filled. Okay, I've got a partial fill.
Order filled.
Okay, so now I'm short. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to scale out 5 and 5, all the while protecting profit. So what that means is as soon as I move into profit, I pull my stop down. So we'll see how long this takes. Okay. Come on.
Order filled.
Okay, so 27 took half of them out. and if we can continue to drop, I'm going to pull the rest out at 26. We've got some pretty good movement now.
Order filled.
And there we go. Okay, so now that's flat. So that's a really good example of the using the purple line for exhaustion points.
Order pending.
Okay, so a little bit of time has passed. We've had another box form, and so I'm going to get ready for this. Long or short, doesn't matter. Okay, so this is interesting. This is good. That sound goes off when you hear a box. This little pop-up window will open up, and then you see that we got a double box, so a box on top of a box. This is really good because oftentimes this can mean that price is gonna, break through pretty hard one direction or the other, and so it's time to get ready for some potential movement here.
Order pending.
Okay, so that order pending.
Filled.
Okay, I'm long, and what I did was I went a little bit more. I went in with 5 extra because these double boxes, not every time, but a lot of times, it can signify some activity that you really want to get in on. And so,
order filled.
Okay, there's already 5 out. So I'm going to just do the same thing. Keep scaling out while securing profit.
Order filled.
Okay. So we got 5 left, and at this point I've got profit secured. So if we come back down, then either way I'll be out. But
order filled.
Okay. So that one's flat, and 0.5. Yeah. Just wait for the next one. Okay, so this one here, I decided to hold off because we haven't had much of a correction. In other words, price kind of came down pretty good. Took a little while, but we haven't had much of a correction, and so at some point it's going to want to take a breather. And the thing about the box, you don't have to take every box trade. Statistically, they're an extremely high win ratio tool, but this might be a good opportunity to well, if we can, pull back up, I'll try to short that red line, the midpoint. I think I mentioned that earlier, but we'll see if that happens. We're moving up there now.
Order pending.
Okay, so I've got a limit order short, tick below the line, the red line there. We call that the midpoint, which is just the middle of the box. Price tends to want to do that. When it pulls away from the box in either direction, it at some point will want to come back to the midpoint. And so depending on the situation, it can sometimes give a pretty decent trade. And so what I'll do is I won't treat this like the other trades that you saw. I'll go for smaller, maybe a half point or so. We'll see. Depends if volume can pick up a little bit.
Order filled.
Okay. So, assuming this doesn't blast through me and continue on up, what I'm going to attempt to do is grab I'm still going to scale out because it's possible. By the way, those sounds, those are other boxes. I've got other charts up on different screens. But assuming this comes down, which so far it is, I've already got orders placed to exit at a half point and a point with 5 and 5. And then what I'll do though is if I can get filled on this first one, then I'll be a little bit more aggressive in protecting profits.
Order filled.
Okay, so there's half. So now I've got the remaining at 5.2.
Order pending.
Just taking a little while. Fed days are kind of like this, or they can be anyways.
Order filled.
Okay, so I'm out, and that took about an hour. Well, let's see. Yeah, about an hour. That's it. That's how you trade the box. Really simple, really easy. Anybody can do it.